Hey, this is Alex, and in this short video, I'd like to share with you how to say the different months of the year in Vietnamese, all right? Going from the January all the way to December.
But first, how would you like an ongoing supply of free reports, helpful resources and unique cultural insights for meeting, dating and marrying a Vietnamese woman? Too easy. Just take a quick moment to subscribe and click the bell icon, and you'll never miss out again.
So in a previous video, we were asking, I think one of the things that we covered is asking your lady, when's her birthday, right? So when she replies, most likely she's probably gonna tell you first the month, and then of course the day of the month. So in this video, what I'd like to do is cover with you, how to say the different months of the year. Now in a different video that we had, I actually showed you how to count from 1 through 10. So some of this may be a review of that, but this is gonna be using, instead of just counting 1 through 12, it's to say, how to say January through December. So the first thing you have to, one thing I want to emphasize is this, is again, in some of the previous videos that I've already mentioned, is that Vietnamese is a tonal language. And because of that, some of the words have different pitches depending on, some of these things that you're seeing up here, right? Which I'll get to in a second. The second thing is also counting in Vietnamese is a little bit different in English in the sense that what we do is we append the words together. Again, you'll see what I mean by that as well, all right? So the first one I want to cover for you is how to say month, all right? So in this case, the word for month in Vietnamese is Thang, T-H-A-N-G, and there's this thing up here. That's what I mean when I say that it raises the word, okay? If we don't have that, the word will be Thang, which is a kind of like a ladder, okay? This word right here, Thang, means month, all right? So again, notice the difference of the tonality. Thang, Thang, you see? So what I'm getting at is that, again, you have to say this in a higher tone, otherwise the word has a different meaning. So like I said, Thang means month. Now, I'm gonna ask you to refrain from trying to translate this literally because it's gonna sound really odd if you try to translate this in English. I mean, it almost makes sense, but it's gonna actually be a little bit more difficult. So Vietnamese doesn't really have a word for January. It has the word for month 1, and then month 2, and then month 3, and on and on and on. So that's one of the reasons why you don't really see, these words don't represent January technically. This word mode, as I mentioned in the other video, it means 1. So when we need to say January in Vietnamese, we basically say month 1, right? Which is Tháng một, okay? So as I said, this Vietnamese is it's not as verbose. The vocabulary is not as expansive as English. So just over the years, this is how the language evolved. So it says, if you want to say, again, the first month, it would be Tháng một, all right? If you want to say the second month, Tháng hai. Third, then you want to say March, it would be Tháng ba, and ba is Vietnamese for 3. One of the exceptions to all of this is that when you get to 4, the word for 4 is bone, all right? Now, when you're talking about the months of the year though, these are more like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, right? So the word 4 here, because it's representing a numerical sequence, it's actually not bone, all right? So if you were to count, let's just say there's 4 cars, you would say, you would use the word bone for 4. When you're talking about something like a numerical series, like the months of the year, then you would want to say the word tư, which is this right here, T-U, and this, this is a very specific vowel in Vietnamese, all right? So again, instead of saying bone, which is 4, really here when you're talking about it's the 4th month of the year, right? Then you're talking about the word tư. So in summary, when you want to talk about April, it would be Tháng tư versus Tháng bốn. Some people that are a little bit more informal, they may use that, but the more appropriate way to say it, April, would be Tháng tư, all right? So again, when you're counting, say, I don't know, cars on a parking lot, or how many kids you have, or things like that, you would use bone for 4. In this case, our intention is to mean 4th, right? Then it would use the word tư, all right? So again, for April, you would use Tháng tư, which is why you see me scratching this out. Năm is 5, Tháng năm. if you notice, this thing has kind of like a half crescent right here. That means that the word is pronounced in English. It would be pronounced kind of like instead of a short. I'm sorry, instead of a long vowel, it'd be a short vowel. All right. If we didn't have this, it would be the half. This would be pronounced Nam, which is either south or part of the name Vietnam, right? But because of this, it's pronounced Nam, which means 5. So to say May, it would be Tháng, Năm. Then to say June, it would be Tháng, Sáu. In Vietnamese, when the letter S is pronounced more like SH sound, that's one of the reasons why I pronounce it as such, all right? And because we have this right here, it's pronounced Tháng, Sáu. Without this, it would be pronounced Sáu, which is a different word, all right? So again, June will be Tháng, Sáu. So if you notice, what I did is I put these, the numeric version of each of these words, right? So you could kind of, remember what which one of these words corresponds to this one. This word bảy is Vietnamese for 7. So for July, it would be Tháng, bảy, right? This right here makes the word a little bit lower, bảy, okay? This one has the same thing as this, is Tháng, Tám, all right? Without this, it would be pronounced Tam, which is again a different word. Because of this, it's pronounced Tám, which makes the word sound higher. Tháng, Chín. You'll notice this has all that it was, right? Without this, it's pronounced Chín, which is a different word, right? Tháng, Chín. For October, 10th month of the year, be Tháng, Mười. All right, so for the Vietnamese word for 10 is Mười. Now this is where it gets interesting. In English, 11 has no reference to 10, right? I mean, it literally has its own meaning. In Vietnamese, what we do is we then append the word 10 and 1 to get to 11. All right, so Mười, Một. You'll notice, right? This word Mười is the same. This word Một is 1. So this means literally 10, 1, which is how we get to 11, right? So Tháng, Mười, Một. As a slight aside, most if not all Vietnamese words are monosyllabic, meaning that they usually only one syllable to them. So that's one of the reasons we don't really have a word, Vietnamese there really doesn't have a word 11, right? The way it works is you take 10 and you add 1, and that's how you get to 11, Mười, Một, okay? Then to get to December, it'll be Tháng, Mười, Hai. Same thing, right? Mười is that, Hai is that. Now, there's still 13 months of the year, right? But if there were, it would be Mười, Ba. If there were 14 months, it would be Mười, Bốn. The only time this changes a little bit is when you get to 15, which I won't get into, but for some odd reason, 15 is just an exception. But this is how we Vietnamese counts, right? If you actually understood how we get to 100 or 1,000, it's the same thing. There's very little of any variation in counting in Vietnamese, right? We just literally take the word and we append to it, right? If you have, say 17 is Mười, bảy, literally, right? 10, 7. That's how we get to 17, just as you would in math. So this is how we communicate the months of the year. As I said, I can't emphasize this enough. There is literally no word for January as English would have it. It's more like the first month, the second month, or month 1 and month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, month 7, and on and on and on. All right, so let me quickly recap this and then we'll wrap up, okay? Tháng is Vietnamese for a month. If you want to say, say March, you would say Tháng, Ba, and Ba is Vietnamese for 3, right? So month 3. If you want to say October, you would say Tháng, right? Month, Mười, 10, right? Month, 10. That's how we get to October. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of a sense of, a little bit more about the language, and then also some basic ways of at least how to read a calendar, or at least, be able to respond when somebody says, when you first hear this, it may look a bit odd that you're trying to figure, okay, what's the word for January or March or things like that. And if you watch this video in conjunction with another video we have where we count from 1 to 10, you'll see that, there's a lot of similarities, right? And then we have another video where I think we shared how to ask the woman what her birthday is. And so this will be the first, part of it, of if she were to tell you what month of the year she's born in, okay? So my name is Alex. I enjoyed creating this video for you. If you find this video valuable, Vanessa, I would love to have you subscribe to our channel, and then also make some comments so we can get some feedback about what you enjoyed and what some areas we can improve. All right. So on behalf of Vanessa and myself, my name is Alex, and I'll see you in the next video.